Time now for the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford, as the ball club has left our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and now it's going to be a 3-game set in Baltimore. Kotz, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Tony. We had a decent little bus ride.
Yeah.
Last night. I think it was 35 miles. It took 2 hours, but hey, that's DC traffic, I guess, trying to get to Baltimore. There was a lot going on in the city last night. The Ravens played the Colts, so city was in Baltimore was happening place last night.
All righty, let's talk about the hot streak your ball club's on right now. You've won 9 of your last 13, but the real thing that I want to get into today, your starters have a 2.55 ERA during that time, which is absolutely fantastic. Talk about the efforts and the production you're getting from your starters right now.
Well, I mean, obviously, results they stem from starting pitching, right? So, I mean, it's no surprise that the starters have that type of ERA and that the wins and losses have been pretty consistent. I think, it all starts with starting pitching, and those guys that are taking the ball every fifth day, they set the tone. And, Severino's been really good over the last 4 or 5. And I think that helps when you've got your ace out there, throwing the ball really well. And obviously Springs has thrown the ball really well for a long period of time. And he continues to go out there and give us, quality innings, quality starts. It'll be interesting to see. This is a big series for our starters. You've got JT Ginn going out, who hasn't gone out and gone 6 innings. You've got Jack Perkins, who's still building, right? And so is JT, in fairness. I think both these guys, limited pitch counts. So it's a big series to see, progress. And that's really what we want to see out of these younger starters.
With more of the veteran guys at this time of the year, especially the way they're throwing the baseball, where you allow them to go a little longer right now at this time of the year versus going to the bullpen if they're going well and they're hot?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, obviously they've earned that opportunity. I mean, yesterday with Jacob, Jacob's a big, strong, physical kid, and so he's in my assessment, he can handle that workload and recover. There's a physicality to throwing 115 pitches and having 4 days off and coming back and throwing, another 100 possibly. So, but at this point in the season, the guys that have been out there consistently, if you're looking at, Springs, Severino, and Lopez, really now, there's a understanding of what they look like when they're doing well, how much they have left in the tank, whether I can push them or whether or not they're done. And that obviously, it helps at this point in the season.
Yes, you mentioned Severino's been throwing the ball great, which is, when your lead dog is getting it going, it really helps everybody else out. But I think about Jeffrey Springs this year because the big thing for him, yes, you want to put up great numbers, but it's health. He's never really been healthy in his career. He's really had 1 year as a starter. The last 2 years have basically been rehab years for him. Just talk about how big it's been for him to be healthy and take the ball every 5 days. And looks like he's going to have a chance to give you 30 starts.
Yeah, I mean, that the offseason was spent trying to identify a starting pitcher that we could possibly trade for that had experience in the big leagues, but yet was affordable and, had success in the big leagues. And you described it very well that in 22, he was a dominant starter. In 23, 24, he went through some injuries. And to see him pitching well now, to see him really having success in 25 and racking up innings and racking up starts, that says a lot about the baseball ops group, really, that identified this starter and brought him in here via trade. And Jacob Lopez was a part of that trade. So, we sent 3 prospects off, Joe Boyle and 2 minor league prospects. I believe that's right. I know Boyle was the centerpiece, but we've got 2 contributing major league starters that have really helped our success to this point in the season.
Yeah, looking back, at least for this year, the trade has been absolutely dynamite for the Athletics. Tyler Soderstrom, let's get into some offense. He lights the world on fire at the very beginning. And then it's like any other year, there's going to be hot stretches for him. There's going to be stretches that are not so hot. And at the trading deadline, his name was being brought up. I went, that's just crazy. He's just 23 years old. It's just his first year in the big leagues. And I think by the end of the year, when you look at the numbers, you're going to be like, wow, just talk about the growth you've seen from him. Also, from the standpoint of having him be a catcher who goes to first and now out in left field.
Yeah, no, I don't know where you heard the rumors of Tyler's name being thrown out, because I didn't hear it. And I'm thankful that I didn't hear it, because I would have lost my shit. Tyler Soderstrom's a part of this group, and he's a young man that's maturing very nicely, not just from the baseball side, but from the person side, right? And that says a lot about Tyler. I've had him since his first day, and I have grown to like him. I mean, I loved him at the beginning. I've grown to love him even more now. And any season is going to have its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. You're never going to, come out and in April hit 390 and continue that. We've seen that with everyone in the league. Aaron Judge would be the best example to use of what he's going through. Yeah, he's dealing with some injuries, but the season you deal with injuries, you play through injuries. And Tyler's had some, issues, banged up, but he still continues to go out and play, and you get through and you grind. And that's part of the process. So I really like what Tyler's done. And like you said, there's so much value to what he offers in terms of, he's an emergency third catcher. He could go back there if we need him be. He's jumped out to left field and, made a great catch yesterday, but he's been, to me, slightly above average left fielder, and he's never played there before. And at first base, he was really solid. Probably above average. And there's a thought that maybe, hey, take an off season, go learn third base. Who knows? But he's young, he's athletic, he's lean, he's strong. And you're right, Tony, he's going to put up probably 25 and get close to 30 homers if he continues to swing the bat the way he has over the last, couple days.
Yeah, and over 80 RBIs, maybe 85. That's a fantastic year. And you asked him to change defensive positions, and he did it without. And he's not a left fielder, right? The outfield was never his thing, so it tells you a lot about the character of the young man. Speaking of first base, Nick Kurtz, are we at a point to where you just don't say anything? You just go do what you do? How do you handle Nick Kurtz? Because every day he does something, the on-base streak. He doesn't look like a rookie. He doesn't handle himself like a rookie. He doesn't play like a rookie. How do you deal with him on a daily basis?
Yeah, I really don't deal with him. It's as simple as that. How you doing, Nick? Great. Awesome. Keep going, kids.
You're in the
lineup. There was a point there, when, he initially first came up and we were hitting him lower in the lineup and he was striking out. And, I just told him, be patient. You're going to learn this. You're going to grow. You're going to have some tough times at points in this season, but you'll get through it. And we saw him get through it, and now we're seeing him at his best. There's hopefully he continues to be at his best the rest of the season. But again, there's not much to say to Nick Kurtz right now other than, hey, are you feeling good and are you healthy to get out there?
And you're hitting number 2, and go get him, big boy.
There's a thought of leading him off today. We've done some things with the leadoff spot.
I've thought about that, and people laughed at me. I'm like, why? Hey, if you can have Schwarber hit leadoff, why not have Nick Kurtz?
No, Nick is an on-base guy. He takes pitches. He takes walks. So it's not something that wasn't talked about. But we've got an opportunity here to possibly utilize him in that role as we go forward.
Let's end on this. It's always special when your catcher does really well offensively, because we know how much the catcher does, like as a captain with the pitching staff and everything that he has to do and all the studying that goes with it. There's just something about the way Shea Langeliers looks like now, how he looks right now. He looks thinner. He looks more athletic. The way he's swinging the bat. Ever since he came off the IL, he's been absolutely red hot. Just talk about how you're watching a player really he's jumping into his prime. These are going to be the best years of Shea Langeliers.
There's no doubt about that. And when Shea, replaced Murph, and I loved Murph. I mean, I was a huge Sean Murphy fan. But I immediately said from watching Shea that Shea's got an opportunity to be better than Murph. And he's definitely probably got an opportunity to hit for better average than Murph. Murph is a, power guy, a great receiver. I said Shea's receiving would get better. It has. He's a +1 in framing right now. He's come a long way. He works his tail off. There's no one that I'd rather, have back there for a long time than Shea Langeliers, and especially because the most famous person in this phone is me. So why wouldn't I love the guy?
Is that still like one of those where you go, you got to get better than that? No offense, Kotz, but you got to get Mark Kotsay can't be the famous guy in your phone.
Yeah, he's gonna meet much more famous people than me for sure, bro. Oh man, yeah. I'm sure I'll have an off season that he replaces me in that category for sure.
All right, great stuff. Have a good series in Baltimore, and we'll see you back at the ballpark in West Sacramento. The Mark Kotsay Show brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford.